So there's been a bit of a resurgence with my friends playing Dead by Daylight recently, and it's honestly interesting to see. I personally entirely forgot it existed until someone not really close to me said they played it a lot, and I downloaded it so I can see what they like. And I actually just wanted to dedicate a whole video to talking about it. The only issue is that Dead by Daylight is a very mixed game for me, and I don't feel like I've re-entered into the community enough to talk about it or even the gameplay itself. I gotta let my thoughts cook in the air fryer a little bit longer before I talk about it. But I still just wanted to talk about Dead by Daylight, so I wanted to use this video as a wish list for characters I want to see added. And yes, it does go in order, so number one is actually the one I want to see added the most to Dead by Daylight. Okay, so no, yeah, I know probably most of these won't happen due to licensing or something, but I can still wish and just have fun talking about this. Really, this video is just for fun. So I have a few honorable mentions that are ones that I feel like the game should add just for the sake of it. And most of these are just skins for characters I feel like they should add. And the first one is Purge skins for the Legion. Like, come on man, they're literally in pretty much Purge characters already, and you give them a hunk skin, which is great by the way, but you won't give them Purge skins? Like, you could have such iconic characters like that one person in a mask, or that other person in a mask, or that other person that died that was in a mask. The next one is just any horror movie character who wields a large axe. Dead by Daylight seems weirdly against having killers with two-handed weapons for some reason.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
But like, I'm talking about killers like Jack Torrance or Patrick Bateman or anyone else besides Huntress with an axe. Also, Dead by Daylight just has issues with only including right-handed killers, which is just such an odd thing. Okay, and the final one, I need y'all to seriously hear me out for this. And this one would be kind of ridiculous, but what if they added a granny skin for Trapper? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait. What you want? What? What you want? Okay, and the final one, I need y'all to seriously hear me out for this one, but if they added a granny skin for Trapper, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hear me out. The Trapper hits people with a club and places traps. And guess what Granny does? Hits people with a club and places traps.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
This is kind of one that I'm kind of surprised I haven't added yet, especially with all the Resident Evil crossovers. That's adding Heisenberg as a killer. No, not that one, this one. And I feel like he could act as a really unique killer with his metal capabilities. You could give him ranged attacks. We can just throw a tire rim at someone. Like, that'd be fun. And like, one of his perks could give him the ability to make skill checks for generators harder in like the first 100 seconds. Kind of like that one plague perk that closes off the 3 furthest gens, and it just has a limited time meter. And I would just design the Mori for him that he just encases you in metal and continuously slams you into the ground. And I feel like they should just add a village character, whether it's that one doll woman or Salvatore Duke Fishron, or that one tall vampire woman that everyone thirsts over, which I don't even understand. Salvatore's way more beautiful than her. I gotta go back for over 100 years ago for this one, and that's Nosferatu. Like, this dude is like the birth of all horror movies, and you would think that Dead by Daylight would show this man a little respect. And not gonna lie, if you made it so you didn't give this killer an obvious terror radius, seeing him hiding in the shadows would actually terrify me. Like, I feel like Dead by Daylight has a weird anti-vampire rule or something. Like, come on guys, Twilight came out 15 years ago and you still haven't added Edward Cullen. But back to Nosferatu, I feel like his ability could just be send rats onto people, almost like Pinhead's chain ability, but a lot less annoying and with rats. And I feel like if they were to design a Mori for him, it would just be a rat-infested coffin coming out of the ground, and he would just push his victim into it and then close it while they get consumed by rats. Yeah, basically his entire character would just be involved with rats for me. So this one might be a little bit out there, but the next one on my list is Sarah and a Crawler from the movie Descent. This movie is great, honestly, and I love Sarah as a protagonist. She goes through a lot of shit in that movie, both figuratively and literally. Like, she's one of the best final girls in horror, in my opinion, and to have her as a survivor would just be great. I feel like some of her perks could be abilities like being able to vault over windows or pallets faster, or something like Adam Francis's perks, where you could just create a diversion. Now, on the flip side, you have a Crawler, which, as an enemy, would be so interesting. If you didn't know, the Crawlers are cave people who rely on sound, and they can't see. And my solution to this would be giving the killer just something like Daredevil vision, where it might be harder to see, but they can hear a lot more sound cues, like footsteps on running or failing a healing skill check. And I feel like ability-wise, they could have something similar to like the Hillbilly or Blight, where it's just a sprint burst. And I feel like the Mori could just literally be you eating the survivor's face off. Kind of basic, but that's what the cave people are. They're just cannibals. Okay, so this is the last out-of-the-box idea, I swear. But this one would honestly be really fun, and I feel like he could just be a skin for the night. And that's Doomslayer. Imagine just how badass it would be, though, to have a night skin where the sword is just the crucible, and the minions that the night spawns could either just be sentinel guards or just demons that follow you around. And also the chase theme could literally be rip and tear, and the Mori could be any glory kill from Doom Eternal. Just the opportunities for this one would be crazy. Okay, this one's less out of the box and more of just a nitpick, but why the hell did they use Remake Freddy instead of the original in the game? I get it might be because of licensing issues or whatever, and that's probably also why he's the only killer with 0 skins, but still, man. Robert Englund is iconic in that role, and you only have the remake version in the game, which just makes me mad. The remake movie for Nightmare is trash and way too dark and gross in my opinion. It just got rid of the fun that Freddy Krueger was as a character. Next off is Predator in Dutch. I know this one's pretty wanted, but how awesome would it be to have a Predator in this? Like, he could have the ability, like the Wraith, to go invisible, and they pretty much already have his weapon with the Skull Merchant. And I'm just imagining having Arnold in this game. It would be great. For Mori for the Predator, it could just be like the scene where he rips out the skull and spine of that one guy. And it would just be beautiful and glorious. Also, the alternate skins they could do for both of these would have amazing potential. Okay, to start off the top 3, I feel like they should add the Xenomorph and Ripley. This one's especially a golden opportunity, and I'm so confused why they don't at least have Ripley in the game. Like, she would be instantly my new main if they did. Genuinely, also having a Xenomorph in the game would be terrifying. Alien Isolation has scarred me from Xenomorphs, and I feel like they have a chance to recreate that terror that game has brought. Also, you could do skins for him like the Resurrection Weird Human Xenomorph, or the Grid one from AVP. And he could just have abilities like the twins, but instead of Victor, it's just a facehugger, and his Mori could just be him sending tiny mouth into the skull of the victim. Oh my god, add them to the game. Okay, this one would be perfect. Just so perfect. And that would be if they add a Cheddar Goblin from Mandy. He could have the plague ability where he just pukes mac and cheese instead of barf. And it would be so good. I need it, dude. And Nicolas Cage is already in the game too, so you could just... Oh my god, it would be great. Okay, straight up, I'm mad that he's not in the game. They had a golden opportunity with the new movie that came out, but they still didn't take the chance to add him. And that's Tony Todd's Candyman. I genuinely do not think there was a killer that would fit in more into this roster. He is such a perfect horror movie character, and I think he could have so many cool abilities in this game. He could have something like the Doctor, where he creates visions of himself, and the only way to clear him is you have to find a mirror around the map, because similar to random generated items like the plague fountains or the Onryo's TVs, and you just have to get rid of the curse. From there, the killer can go to the mirror and gain power from it, and yes, in that case, it would also just be like the plague ability. Also, his Mori could literally just be him puking bees on someone. Like, the potential for this character to be in this game is awesome. And I just feel like Candyman as a horror character should get more respect. But yeah, that's my wish list for killers and survivors I would add to the game. I feel like all of these are mostly golden opportunities. In other news, yeah, the poll has officially closed, and it turns out I'm gonna be talking about Halo 3. Yippee! Y'all like watching me suffer. Thanks to everyone who's voted though, and I promise Desmond I will do Clone Drone eventually. I'm also gonna hold another poll sometime that's pretty much just doing the same thing, which will just give a list of options that I want to talk about, so just make sure to look out for that. Anyways, I'm gonna go hibernate again. Love you guys. Toes.
Ew, their toes. Why'd you point our toes?
Oh god, what the fuck?